All right, what's going on, people of YouTube, the LPX tech community? So, if this is for the this little bit is for the people who are watching the post recording of this and watching the first few seconds of the video. So, other than this is all good. This is also a good time for those of you to leave a thumbs down for just wanting to leave a thumbs down, and for the trollers to leave their comments down below. Mainly though, for those of you who are watching this, the post recording of it. I know the description and time mark is probably going to say an hour to a little bit more than an hour. Don't fret. I'm going to go ahead and recut this video so you can just watch the certain segments that you may be interested in. So obviously in the beginning, I'm going to be talking about, if you just want to stay tuned, I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the iPhone X finally compared to the other devices here. This is just a small selection of them, but just kind of talking about why it is and maybe it's not the best, and giving kind of a two-sided opinion on it. And I know most people just like to give their opinion and just leave a thumbs down and just do everything, so I'm just going to give them time to do that. And then later in the video I'm also going to be talking about pretty much an update for the channel. So in the middle I'm going to go ahead and talk about what's been going on, what's happened. I know a lot of people have been wondering where I've been, what's been going on, and as well as my plans going forward on how I'm going to progress with this channel, and I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more. And then finally, I'm just going to be talking about the phones that I've decided to upgrade to, and the other tech devices that I will be talking about in my future videos going forward. So without further ado, I'm just going to give a little bit more time here, just a couple more seconds, just get myself settled in here. It's been a while since I've actually done a proper live stream. It looks like there's some people awake at 12 a.m. in the morning. I apologize. This is the only time I can really do these videos, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But hopefully you guys had, for those of you who are watching the recording, have had their time to prepare themselves. Maybe I'll go ahead and put time markers at the bottom here if I can. But do forgive me for the quality of the video. It is a webcam. I did get a new mic, so I don't have to wear this goofy headset anymore. But we are working on getting new equipment, new recording equipment. So the quality of these live streams should get better as we go forward. There we go though. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right on into the main topic from the thumbnail of this video, and it's is the iPhone X the best right now? And it's just, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Is it the best? And I'm just gonna say it's yes and no. And I'm just gonna go off and list, just kind of addressed. This is not scripted, so this is just me kind of just going live, unscripted here. The main thing is, it is the best iPhone, and I said this last year for the iPhone 7, the 7 Plus. It is the current best iPhone in its own category. I feel like it's at this point, smartphones fall into two categories. You have the iPhones, and then you have the non-iPhones, because at the end of the day, a lot of people pay attention to what's, I don't know, like Apple just has a huge following. They literally have their own category, and I've pretty much given up on trying to convince people why it is not the best. And I'm not saying that it's a bad phone. A lot of people have been accused of saying, well, why don't you just admit it's a good phone? It's a good phone. And just a quick another tidbit, I am not going to be going over all the technical aspects of the devices. A lot of other reviewers and channels have already, dived into all the technical, specifications and comparisons with all the devices. I'm mainly focusing on just a general prospect of it. I mean, just overall the phone, the summary, the spark notes. So if you're more interested in the finite details, go ahead and check out some of the other videos out there. There's plenty of vlog sites that have already done the comparisons. But getting back on the topic here, I was simply disappointed. And I'm going to once again say, it's not a bad device. They've done what they needed to do. It's up to date. It's the next year, and it's the same thing with all these other phones. All the other phones have done the same thing this year. It's the upgrades that you expected. A wider display, edge-to-edge display, infinity displays, better RAM, better processors, more touch sensitivity, better screens, etc., better cameras. In terms of the Motorola, over here, the Motorola, the one thing that stuck out for me was different attachments. So the device becomes a central part of your life if you get those attachments. They can become a camera or a projector. And in case of both the Motorola and the Samsung, it can become your laptop and phone. It's a lifestyle device. I'll dive into that topic a little bit later on, maybe in another video. But I thought that was a step in the right direction, but it was kind of, I expected it because in the last 2 years, there were several Kickstart programs, Kickstart devices, and teaser products given out by both Samsung and LG. And, you know, it was kind of expected. But overall, though, none of them really stuck out. And I know that's going to anger a lot of people on both sides, but just hear me out. But my main point of this segment is going to be focusing on the disappointment that I had with the iPhone. And just kind of fun fact, it's like kind of funny that you can't really distinguish the two phones other than the what's it called? Other than the little top portions here. But other than that, though, it's, you know, you can watch my live reaction on the presentation itself. It was very underwhelming. Not in the fact that it's a bad device. I think one of the commenters on the live stream, and by the way, what's going on, everyone who's watching, who's tuning in live? Thank you for the birthday wishes. It was my birthday last Friday, and I do miss you guys too. So I'm glad there's actually a handful of people watching right now. But the main thing is, guys, I was just underwhelmed. I think a lot of people, and a lot of the reviews I read, and the reason why I waited to make this video was because a lot of the videos I read and watched, the vlogs I read and the videos I watched, they all kind of come to the general conclusion. It's the same presentation rehashed and just regurgitated year after year, and it's disappointing once again. It's not a bad phone. I'm going to keep emphasizing that. Like, I'm not criticizing them that they made a bad phone. No, they made innovations and once again they push forward again the better screens, the better transistors, the better battery life, the better RAM, and everything. They're making everything more efficient. Everyone else is doing the same thing. They're not the only ones doing it. They're not special. Everybody's doing the same thing. But the thing is, it's been 10 years. I had a false sense of high hopes for for the iPhone X, because I was like, oh, you know what? It's been 10 years. I actually went back, and the thing is, I still occasionally find myself watching the old Steve Jobs press conferences. Every time he released a new device, watch his Macintosh one again, watch his new MacBooks, watch his Apple conferences from the mid-90s. Especially the biggest ones that really inspired me was his presentations of the iPhone, iPad, the iPod, the MacBook Air. Just when you look back at those videos, it's just, they were inspiring. Like, you watch them, you're like, holy crap, I was watching the iPhone 7 presentation, the original iPhone presentation again with Steve Jobs, and I was more entertained and drawn in to the message of Apple and what they were trying to do than I was with this year's presentation by Tim Cook in the new iPhone X. The newest and greatest phone didn't impress me as much as a video 10 years ago did. And I think a lot of people agree. It's just ever since Steve Jobs passed away, the company's just gotten stagnant. And, you know, I'll say it again. My thing is, they built this brand new awesome facility, and you know, they gotta be doing something big with it. And before someone trolls me on the comment here, well, it's not just about the device. What about the user interface, the information, the support system that go behind it? Of course, yes, a lot of money these days are poured into data gathering, how to get your information, pretty much how can we get to know everything about you, and that's what they're focusing on. If you don't believe me on terms of that, all of these phones and all these companies are trying to gather as much information on you as possible, then, you know, you're living in La La Land. So there's a whole nother department and resources that need to be dumped in terms of data gathering, security, etc., etc. But I don't like to focus on that stuff. That's the stuff that's, you know, there's interesting ports of it. That's a different conversation altogether. But the device itself, the device overall, 10 years, and this is what they released. This is your, you know, you wait till the end of your end of your, you know, the iPhone 8 was the typical regurgitated, here's our typical upgrade per year, some little changes, here you go. But the iPhone X, at the end, I was like, all right, cool. They waited to save the best for last. And then when they released it, it was just, it looked like the V30, to my opinion. You can't tell me that these two don't look similar. Yes, you got the Infinity display, but it's not that different. It's the same design. Fine, you got the full screen. You got the new Dolby True HD, the True Black. Yes, it's impressive. I'm not saying it's bad, but at the end of the day, it didn't wow me. You know, they even touted the smartphone for the future. I mean, it's the baseline for next year's upgrade. I mean, like, am I wrong in that? It's okay. Like, when you say, all right, well, here's the phone next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, that's the same typical. If they just keep going the way they are, of course it's the next baseline. It's all right. We have Infinity display. All right, where do you take it from there? You know, it's just, it's not revolutionizing as the iPhone was. The iPhone originally was the true, you know, Palm, BlackBerry, they did, you know, and the other smartphones back then, you know, they did have touch displays and integrate, you know, Windows OS, mobile web browsing, Word, but none of them did what the iPhone did. And the iPhone was truly the base of the next generation of phones. This time around, you know, after looking at the iPhone, like, I actually, you know, to my, you know, to your disbelief, actually, to some of my fans right now, I actually waited to check out the other devices until I saw the iPhone first, just so I can give it a true comparison and everything. And it was just underwhelming. I mean, nothing really, like, they're all even, in my opinion. Honestly, if you were to ask me which phone to upgrade, here's the quick thing. If you're an Apple user, you're gonna get the iPhone. Clear and cut, you're gonna get it. You're not, like, some people will consider these other devices, but most people will stay up here, and some people will convert from the Note 8 to the iPhone. I mean, it's just gonna happen. I mean, that's just this is kind of how it works these days. For those people who are watching this, it kind of swayed one way or to the other. Here's my biggest thing: the iPhone, the iOS system. It's a safe bet. I'm gonna admit that right now. It's still a safe bet. It's a well-defined, well-rounded. You know, honestly, 5 years ago, if you were to ask me Android or Apple, I would say Apple. Because, you know, back then, and I think a lot of you can agree, the, you know, Android OS was still being worked out, a lot of kinks and a lot of issues, but the main thing that drew a lot, you know, people like me over to the Android platform was the freedom and the open code and the fact that I can have expandable memory. And by the way, the expandable memory thing is still a big thing. And it's just, I don't know. It's just... I'm not going to get it. I mean, if for those of you who are thinking about getting it, I mean, get it. If you're already an iPhone user, there's no point in you watching this video. By this point, you know, I had this conversation with a lot of people, especially in my store, about the iPhone. You're so entrenched into their world, into their systems. You've downloaded all your movies, your books, your music, your apps, all your information, your saved game files, your pictures. You know, everything that you have up to this point. If you've just been waiting and waiting and waiting, it's kind of too late for you, because you're at the point now where it would cost you too much to get off their system, because everything you have and own is in that platform. But for those of you who are willing to make the change, and I've seen this more often than many, it sucks. And I even said it in one of my previous videos. It sucks to leave the Apple ecosystem. Trust me, I was a huge fan. I was one of the first people to get the iPhone, got the 3GS, got the 4, got the 4S, got the MacBooks, got the iPad. I had everything. And when I got off, got to an Android system, got a Windows laptop, it took me a few months to really convert back into using into using that, you know, getting out of it. I can only imagine what it is like now, 5-6 years later for a lot of you. And the fact I'm saying 5-6 years later, it's insane. Ever since back then, and up till even now, they have done nothing to win me back. And then this phone is clear. This is a clear indication of, I mean, at least right now, I don't know what they have planned for the future. They have this giant, beautiful facility. They gotta be doing something crazy with it, whether it's augmented reality, virtual reality, different wearables, smart cars, something. They're working on something in that damn building, not just phones. Like, they gotta be doing something. And, you know, but up till now, though, they've just have done nothing to win us back. I think a lot of my subscribers who come up on here, you know, actually to the DMD's comment here, the only product I still use from Apple is their iPad for my POS system and, you know, point of sales. I use it for my business's point of sale system. It's the only thing I use it for. I use it for one app, and that's it. And it's kind of sad, actually. And I can go on and on about the device. There's things, you know, if I really want to dive in even more into more detail, you know, last year there was a bit, you know, I had a big uproar about the headphones, and a lot of people gave me crap. It's not a big deal. And you know what? At the end of the day, it is not. Because Apple is continuously just going to, they're going to design the products for the people that, they're just going to design it, honestly. Like, they're just going to be like, if you don't want headsets, you know, get these new earbuds that we have. They're good, and they're not bad. I've actually tried them. I don't like the design of them, but they work well. And it will be compatible with other Bluetooth headsets. It's not like they're going to force you, for now, to just buy the earbuds. But the thing is, not everybody owns wireless and Bluetooth headsets. You know, I still argue today that it's stupid that, you know, the majority of the market still use wired headsets, and you come out with this, and the only option for those people to use wired is to get a special dongle, an extender. And by the way, if you want to charge and use the headphone set at the headphone at the same time, you have to have that other dongle. Well, you know, they're not charging you for it; they're including it. Well, what if you break it? They're gonna replace it for free. Okay, cool, but it's still an attachment that you could lose and break, and if you don't have it, well, guess what? You're SOL if you don't have a Bluetooth headset on you. And a lot of these people, and let's just transition this into the pricing. I don't really care about the pricing. All the phones these days are getting up there. This and this are both at $1,000. You know, are they worth $1,000? Yes and no, because you got to really think. The actual technologies that go into these devices is insane. These phones are insane. A lot of people are like, $1,000 for a phone? What kind of world are we in right now? Do you understand what these phones are capable of? You know, it's insane that the price is justified. But the thing is, guys, everyone that gets these devices ends up getting, you know, what's it called? These days, it's the financing plan, where if you sign up for whatever it's not even a contract, it's a leasing plan where you're going to pay for the device between $20 to $40 a month on top of your bill. And this is where they're getting you guys, because that offer is terrible, in my opinion. A smartphone should last you at most 2 years, in my opinion. It should. And, you know, it's a very short time. It's been 10 years. There's enough data. A phone should last you 2 years, especially in this day and age. An iPhone barely will. Some people do. But those people aren't the ones that are using media very heavily. They're using it for the basic functions. Memory is a big thing. And the older devices, remember, they had 2 gigs, 4 gigs, then 8 gigs, and 16 gigs. We use more and more and more as we become more hoarders of media, especially with everything going digital. Sorry, I'm getting off topic again. My thing is, you're going to end up financing the device. Most people do. And, I do miss the 2-year, because if you guys remember, in the golden age of phones, you just do a $100 deposit on the phone, and as long as you sign up for a 2-year contract, that's it. That's all you paid for. You just paid for your monthly bill, and that was it, because the companies were subsidized through your monthly plan. Fast forward now, they're double dipping you. They're making you finance and pay for the phone overall. By the way, if you want to get the warranty on it, you got to pay that extra a month. And on top of that, it's just more expensive these days. I'm just gonna put it that way. But knowing that you're paying that extra money, and then you're gonna have to buy all these extra things to make this device convenient for you. They're just making you spend more money. And the thing is, a lot of people out there are gonna be fine with it. They have the disposable income. But the thing is, my channel was made so I can talk to the everyday people and try to educate the masses the best I can, because I see so much every day. They're like, oh, I'm just gonna get the new iPhone. But it's like, have you considered, I see so many times, like, oh, I can't afford to replace this, fix that, do this and do that. I'm like, it's so much easier on an Android. I mean, yes, these new devices are making it harder because of the design aspects, but replacement parts are universal amongst these guys. New chargers, headsets. You have a bazillion headsets to choose from. God damn, I'm sorry. I'm going off tangent. I gotta do my best to keep focus here, but it's just not. There's a comment here on my live feed that says, but the iPhone is the best iPhone, but what Apple is doing now, Android's been doing for years, and that's so true. And the thing is, once again, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here on this note. And I've said it. You can go back into my old videos, and I've said it before. They're not the leaders anymore. They don't lead in the innovation department. And you can go ahead and argue with me about it, but please don't just type in, oh, but it's, they made the best version of it. It's Apple. No, Android just sucks. Samsung is terrible. Their batteries explode. Blah, blah. You're not getting to the root cause of they don't release it first. They weren't the first to the edge-to-edge screens. They weren't first to the plus-size phones. They weren't first on the styluses. That guy was. Actually, technically, Palm was back in the day. They're not first on the displays. They're not first on the smartwatches. They're not first on the mobile smartwatches with the 3G technology. By the way, I don't wear the Gear S anymore, the original. I still miss the Gear S, and there's a reason. That's another video why I haven't upgraded to the S3 or anything. I still want them to bring back the original model. But 3 years ago, actually, yeah, more than 3 years ago, the Gear S already had water resistance. You can watch videos on it, store music on it. You can actually use it as, I didn't use it for NFC. I don't think I actually had that function, but I use it as my card holders for my rewards programs. Web browsing worked on it, text messaging worked on it, and by the way, it worked as a freaking phone. I had a SIM card in it, was able to use it as a standalone device, have all my calls forwarded. By the way, go on runs on a trail out in the middle of the on a nature trail without my phone, and just have my Bluetooth headset connected to the watch. It worked 3 years ago, 2014, and you're doing it now. Like, okay, technically with the Apple Watch 2, but all the stuff that they're releasing now, repackaging as, look, we made it better. It's been done already. Why are they repackaging old things and putting out now, and they're acting like it's new? And they always do this. If you look back at all their conferences and most people's reactions, I love how people react that they're the ones that invented it, and they don't. And the thing is, it'd be different. I would feel different if they would release something, okay, fine, after the fact. After Samsung released it, after LG released it, after someone else releases it, but they do it truly better. It was my argument with their Apple Watch. If you waited a year, 2 years to release your first smartwatch, why not have everything that the other devices did good in yours? if you had 2 years of R&D, and the thing is, those people that argue with me that no, they wait to release it because they want to make sure they have the best version of that piece of technology. For those of you who argue that, why isn't it the best? If they take their time to let the other competitors waste their money, do the product launches, do the focus groups, and do everything, and you know that these are the features that people are looking for, and you release that, no, they're purposely releasing a less capable device because they know they will sell, and they do. They have a mass population of followers that will just buy it. That they don't think twice about buying it, and you know, it's a shame. It really is, because they could do so much better, but they choose not to because they are complacent. They are very complacent. And this is me ranting, and I really need to stop doing that when I do these things. So, but my thing is, you know, there's chats going on right now on my chat board, so I will address some of these comments and questions in a bit here. But overall, just some of the stuff I said, I know you may agree or disagree with, but it's something that you should consider when getting these devices. And once again, going back to my original comment, it's not a bad device. If you're looking for a phone to upgrade to, that you're just looking for something simple, something that's, you know, been proven, an all-in-one system, you know, it's a safe bet. If you have family members that use it, they can go in and help you how to get started up and integrate it. It's not a bad phone to get. You know, is it for me? No. Is it for everyone? No. For the most people, everyone chooses it for a reason. But if you want value for your money, and the thing is, especially this day and age when, you know, let's be honest, the most middle-class people, you know, money's tight. Money's very tight. That is not the best value for you. It isn't. You can go ahead and throw in security and some other stuff too, but all these other phones and companies, it's not like 10 years, it's not like 5-7 years ago, people. It's the modern day. You know, the thing is, if you choose to try to get the most bang for your buck, checking out either the Note 8, the V30, the Moto X4, even the new upcoming Huawei phone, the OnePlus phones, you're going to get the most bang for your buck. But if value's not what you're thinking of, then obviously go with it. It's just like buying a luxury car. And you know, it's an argument all the time. You can go ahead and buy the $80,000 Mercedes or BMW, or you can go out and get a Hyundai Genesis that's 20 to 30 grand less. Yes, there might be some certain functions that might be different. Drive dynamics that are different. Each car has something that a person might like or dislike or wish they had. But the thing is, at the end of the day, is that small difference $20,000 more. The thing is, when the Hyundai Genesis first came out back in 2009, I believe, yes, that's the case. They didn't have everything. They didn't have all their stuff together. Fast forward 8 years later. Now people are taking them seriously. Now people are considering, you know what? Why don't I save that $20,000 and put it towards a nice Bluetooth headset or a nice wired headset, or get a tablet for myself, get VR glasses, get a new watch. Like, think about it. You know, it's kind of crazy. You know, what I think I saw a meme out there that the new iPhone 8 has a lot of the current functions and specifications compared to the S5 or 6. Either way, a device that's 2 years old, 2 to 3 years old, they were very comparable. That's embarrassing. I need to go check on that, but the fact I saw that, and I actually clarified. I did look at some of the things, and it's spot on. You know, it's kind of crazy, but I'm going to go ahead and end that segment there. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the channel update. So before I do that, let's go ahead and actually, wow, I didn't realize there's 13 people. What's going on, guys? Good evening. It is 12:30 in the morning here on the East Coast of the United States. What the hell are you guys doing up at this hour? Don't you have work in the morning? But let me go ahead and check some of you guys out. What's going on, everyone? Let me give me a drink of water here. Let me go ahead and read some of your comments here. Actually, yeah, no, it looks like a lot of you pretty much agreed to me. Holiday, yeah, my son's doing awesome. I will definitely tell Uncle Leonard says hi. And thank you again for the birthday wish, man. I really did appreciate that. Note 8 is great. Safe bet for Android. Sorry, I'm just reading your comments here really quickly. Let me see here. ICC's first one to come up with an Android phone. Okay. It's 10 a.m. in India. Well, good morning to you, sir. Namaste. No, but I'm going to go on to the channel update. So, once again, I'm surprised that there's... Thank you guys for still keeping me, staying subscribed to my channel and responding to my feed. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, I definitely miss doing these videos for you guys. It's been a hell of a 2 years. Honestly, I know the last time I really posted consistently was 2 years ago. And then last year, this past year, I really only posted the update video in the beginning, and then this recent Apple the live reaction. But a lot of things have been going on. As you can see, I'm still in my shop. It's 12:40 in the morning. I'm still sitting here. And the thing is, you know, recently I've decided to finally start, you know, where can I put my energy on? So my business, if you guys want an update on my business, go ahead and feel my plugin. Feel free to check out my Gamers Heaven YouTube channel, look for this logo, as well as my personal channel, it's simply named Andrew Huang. I think it's in the description below here. But it's been a long 2 years. It really has been, and I think I'll make a more proper video about what's been happening. But it's been definitely a long 2 years. And for those of you who checked in me last time, yes, I did get married a year and a half ago. I didn't have the proper white ceremony yet, just because after, you know, we decided to get the courthouse done and then get the certificate and then go ahead and plan the wedding for the end of the year, early next year. And then we ended up having our son. If you haven't seen him yet, I think I show you kind of a photo. I think this is a bad way. I have the S7, by the way. No judgments. I got this right before the S8 was announced, so don't judge me. But I guess it's a good picture. So I wonder if you can see it. That's a picture of my son. His name is June, like the month, spelled J-U-N, by the way. So that's my son. He's going to be 11 months and 4 days. So he's almost a year old. And for those of you who are familiar with Korean traditions, we're going to have his tour, essentially, to celebrate his first birthday. So that's going to happen soon. But he's for those of you who are already parents, you may already understand. It's been it's a life-changing experience. This whole past year has been really focusing on my business, really trying to get stable, and then also taking care of my family and my wife. And I gotta admit, it hasn't been easy. I've made a lot of mistakes these last 2 years, and I don't need to bore you with the details, but it has been a long 2 years, and I'm still fighting. I'm not still in the clear. There's still a lot of things I gotta do, one of which is get this channel active again. I worked my butt off for almost 2 years, a year and a half on the channel. We got up to like almost 22,000 subscribers, and I disappeared on you guys. And that's, you know what, most importantly, I apologize. And I know I've apologized before, but you know, a lot of you tuned into my videos, you tuned into my live streams, you actually engaged with me, and a lot of you actually some of you have called me too, by the way. I don't know how you found my phone number, but a lot of you found me. But it really hit home to me recently because three subscribers reached out to me recently asking me for my advice on things. And I'm just like, I didn't know I had that much of an impact on you guys. And just thank you. And thank you for being so patient with me. And for those of you who tuned in, thank you. And this has actually been giving me the encouragement to get back on the you know, back on the chair and record videos again. Unfortunately, on the quality side, I'm not going to be able to do the same quality of videos that I did before. Not to say that they were the best. They definitely weren't compared to some of these other big channels. But I'm going to do my best to work within my means now. So for now, it's going to probably be these live streams every week, and then cutting them into pieces and releasing them piece by piece during the week. And then eventually I might be able to do scripted releases and stuff later on when I get more time. But as of right now, I had to go through a major downsizing at the store, and I'm pretty much here 60 to 80 hours a week on top of having to do work from home and then family stuff. So understandably, I won't have time to really shoot and edit for a while there. But I have had a lot of topics that I've wanted to talk about, and I feel like, you know what, these live streams and then being able to, you know, I have a couple people that are going to be coming in to hopefully help me edit these videos for you guys. But I've always found myself to be, you know, better speaking like this. I like to be off script. Typically my videos were, and I just like to talk to you guys as it is. So by all means, like this, none of my videos are sponsored. By all means, I'm not sponsored by these guys. I wish. That'd be awesome. I would love to get a free, you know, any of these to try out. I would love that. But this is more, you know, I'm giving you my true personal opinion. As much as you might feel like it might be biased, it's at least one side, and I like to present both sides of the argument and just give you guys an educated kind of guess on what to do, as well as things to consider when you do purchase these things. So videos to expect going forward, my holiday purchase guide. So what new phones should you upgrade to? Which ones do you think is the most valuable? What smartwatch should I buy? Is the smartwatch still worth getting? If you're a business owner, this hits home for me. What pieces of tech should I really invest in for the YouTube channel? I mean, not the YouTube channel, for my business and everything. Sorry, let me close a couple programs here. And then other than that, it's I'm gonna be talking about augmented reality, virtual reality. I'm actually gonna be I'm gonna try to get my hands on a Tesla, not to buy one. By all means, I can't afford one. I had to just get rid of a car recently because we couldn't afford the payments. There's a car service called Toro. I'm not sponsored by them. I watched another YouTuber for car reviews, and he always, for certain cars that he can't get his hands on, he rents them through this car service, and it looks like I can rent a Model X for a day. I mean, it's going to cost a decent amount, but if I can have it for a solid day and a half to drive it around and give a quick review, I would love to, because electric cars really fascinate me. Like, I actually personally really want to own one, whether it's either the new Leaf, the new Ioniqs from Hyundai, even the Chevy Bolt. You know, I really believe in it. Yes, Doug DeMuro. Yeah, DMD, you're a fan of him too? Yeah, I love that dude. He's a local from Philly too. He's actually my age. I'm a little jealous. He has almost 1 million subscribers. I started watching him when he only had like 50,000. So, dude's come a long way. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, key to success on YouTube: stay true to yourself and be consistent. I've been true to myself, but not consistent. But that's what I plan on doing, hopefully. So I won't have time to make videos like he does, and you know, he does it full time. And unfortunately, I'm a small business owner, and this takes most of my time. But you know, this tech channel is where I started everything. So I'm going to be slowly, as I keep going forward, putting more time into it. Hopefully, as the business starts settling down again. We went through a recent really big bump and a big change, and it's been really hard on me and my family the last few months. But, you know, the light is at the end of the tunnel, and we are working. Actually, let me get rid of this. So there we go. The light is at the end of the tunnel, and we're getting towards it. And I really want to get back on this, because honestly, I said it before, you guys are actually what made this happen. You're the ones that really started this. You are the ones that really motivated and pushed me to take that risk and go for it. You know, I gave up a steady job, and by God, my mom loves to remind me every single day that I gave up a safe and steady job to do this. But But both my parents, you know, they didn't say it before, but they say it now. They're just proud that I did it. And I think I motivated some of you actually to do the same thing, whether it's starting your own channels or starting your own businesses. You know, it wasn't easy. It's still not easy. You know, this is, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And I'm definitely trying to find that balance, and I still am. But this is my solemn promise to you guys that I'm going to do my best to at least release at least a live stream podcast. This is my way of doing a podcast, do a detailed video for you guys, go over some topics, and then throughout the weeks release the clips. So those of you who want to just watch certain segments can just wait for those segments and just watch them in the 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully I can keep better with my time on that. But also be looking out for some fun videos. I'll be doing some more VR videos, more VR tech videos. You know, I've been sitting on these Vives, might as well use them and everything. I'll also be doing videos on the SNES Classic. You know, why talk about just new tech, talk about some old tech too. And just in general, there's gonna be a lot. You know, I have a lot of videos I want to do, and you know, knock on wood that I'm actually going to do it for you guys. You know, you guys definitely been patient with me. It's about time that I deliver on the stuff I wanted to do. So thank you. But other than that, see, is there anything else I want to update on? Oh yeah. So I've been wanting to do baby tech, but both my parents and my wife kind of don't want me to do that to June. So yeah, I'm gonna wait on that. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and answer some questions here. There's just a couple were posted. So Ken Lin, I see you're wearing the Gear Fit 2. Yes. Seems like not the Gear S. Yes. My Gear S finally died after 2.5 years of usage. Yes, it lasted 2.5 years. And the thing is, I refused to upgrade it because you can check out my old videos on it, but I wasn't a fan, and I'm still not a fan of the round bezel design. It's cool. It's nice. The functionality is good, but it's just not the smartwatch that I personally prefer. And that's the truth. I'll put it this way. I'm going to be dead straight. If they were to do just a simple re-release of the original Gear S, no changes. I mean, the only changes I would ask is come up with a new charging system so it doesn't wear out. But I would buy that over any of the watches that are out now. And I still stand by that. I still stand by my original video that it's still king. It was an awesome watch. It still left a very, like, the reason why I got the Gear Fit 2 is because it's the only thing that was closest to the Gear S that I could wear. Plus, it's really convenient. It's really light. It does what I need it to do. And I mean, I'm going to do a video on that too. Why I stuck with this over all the other plethora of smartphones I could have gotten. I did this. So let me see here. The Gear Fit 2 is awesome. Is it swimming proof? It's waterproof. I don't recommend swimming with it. Because I don't want to be at fault if it does break. But I've gone swimming with it. I've gone to the water park. I have gone to, for those of you who are familiar with Schlitterbahn water parks, I went to one of them, spent the entire day in the pool in the lazy river. It was fine. But once again, I don't want to be responsible for it if it does break, because these are mass produced. Some of them fall through the cracks. So you're safe if you get pushed in the pool, if you take a shower, if you're outside in the rain, wash your hands, you'll be fine. But yeah, you can give or take that comment there. DMD, will you be upgrading your smartphone at some point soon? No, I won't be. And the simple answer to that is it's financial reasons. I just simply can't afford to upgrade. Actually, I was supposed to make a video on the S8 because my wife was able to upgrade because she was eligible. But she got her phone right around the rough period for the business and just kind of our life issues and stuff, so I wasn't able to make a thing. But great phone. I'm just jealous, honestly. I wish I had the S8 as well. I honestly wish the Note 7 never failed, because that's the phone I originally wanted. But because I couldn't get any more, this was the next best thing that I could upgrade to. And yes, I chose with the even back then there was other phones I could choose from, but I ultimately chose the S7 for number of reasons, but another time. But my mom's due for an upgrade. I believe. So we're gonna be checking. But she's still rocking the Note. She's rocking the Note 5 right now. So I might be able to get the Note 8, but I'm not too sure. Just because right now money is really tight, and you know, I am talking about whether saving $45 a month or adding on $45 a month to our bill. You know, I can't make irresponsible decisions, but at the end of the day, though, I'm still going to make videos on it because I can go to the local providers and check out the devices on the spot, get a nice feel for them. Because at the end of the day, are there really drastic changes? No, but I can still get a feel for the devices for you guys. Let me see here. Video chat. Let me see. Can you do a budget tech video? I could do a budget tech video. I plan on doing sort of like a YouTube for beginners guide type thing. So, you know, what kind of mic to use, what kind of soundboard, what kind of headset, what kind of camera, what kind of computer do you need? I plan on doing a bunch of other stuff for that. So, I mean, that's something I can do. You know, you don't have to get the latest and greatest phone. What phone can you get that, you know, still suffices to this day? You know, my dad was, I think I'm the Note 6 because he was rocking the S4 for the longest time. He refused to upgrade, and he finally did. But let me see here. Let me see. How do you feel the Gear Fit 2? How many different is the oh, okay, Kenley, I got you. So how do I feel about the Gear Fit 2, and how do I feel in comparison to the Gear S? I still miss the Gear S. I still have the broken one at home as like a memorial, essentially. It doesn't really compare. But in terms of what I need, you know, what I mainly ended up using the smartwatches for is fitness and notifications. And honestly, that's really it. The one main thing I really do miss about the original Gear S, and that you can do now too, is being able to just use the watch as my media device for music for when I do go work out. It was really nice to just have to carry. I can just leave my phone in the car, so I don't have to worry about it being stolen in the lockers or anything, or dropping it while I work out. It was just really nice, and that's the one thing I do miss about it. I do like the Gear Fit 2 in terms of it's light. It's really light. The plastic is really good on it, though. It bangs around. Honestly, it's probably just as strong as the regular Gear S was, but I definitely miss the Gear S still. Just, you know, yeah, I mean, just the bigger screen helps too. The fact that I can respond to certain text messages, I can read the full messages. So on here, I can read it, but I had to scroll a good amount on the watch so I can read the full text messages. But I still use it for that fact because it's simple. I don't. It's weird. I'm a tech guy, but I don't need my watch to do too many things. If you get my drift, I still find it more convenient to use this guy. And the thing is, I use smartwatches for more than 4 years now because I had the original Pebble. And I'm saying this as an experienced user. Pros and cons. You don't, you know, it's still good to have both. It's not where this should replace this. It supplements this. So that's my comment on that here. The Note 5 is still a good phone. Let me see here. Why do you go with T-Mobile and get? Why don't you go to T-Mobile and get Jump? It's I'm with AT&T right now, and I get certain discounts, so it's just like the iPhone argument that I had earlier. It's kind of hard to leave your carrier if they're doing their best to keep you with them, and that's what I've done. And I recommend for those of you trying to lower your bill, give this a shot. You call them and being like, hey, so-and-so is offering me X amount of dollars and this payment for this plan. Is there anything you guys can do to match it? And sometimes they will match it. And I was able to shave off I think a few months ago, I shaved off almost $95 from our bill. Just, I compared our data plan to Cricket, and, you know, the upgrade fees that they were offering and everything. So they just took off $95 and added 10 gigs of data. And then most recently, they gave me unlimited data for free. So it doesn't hurt to try. It really depends on the person you get, by the way. So good luck on that. The shop looks so different. Yes, it's gone through a lot of changes. There's two sides actually. So beyond this camera is a wall, and beyond that there's more of the store. I mean, here's a quick pan shot. I mean, that's more, you know, it's going through more renovations right now, but, and you know, this is kind of how I'm looking at you guys right now. That's our stream setup. But sorry for the fuzziness. There we go. But there's I'm still working on a lot of things. I'm actually working on tearing this wall down eventually too, to expand that way even more. Still working very hard at this business, not giving up. And just like this channel, I'm not gonna give up on this channel. If you'd like to try out the phone, they will give you 2 weeks to try it out. Yes, there is that, but a bunch of hoops and ladders and stuff, and with my schedule, it's actually really tough for me to go back. Like, I'm working 15-hour days and stuff, and it's tough for me to find time to go back to the store sometimes. I'm working 7 days a week, so doesn't really work on my schedule right now, but I do my best when I can. Yeah, so so the S2, once again, the S2 and S3 are great smartwatches. Actually, my one employee that I still have right now has the S3. It looks good. Not my personal preference or taste, but it looks good. I mean, they're great. I mean, there's nothing else for me to say on it. Like, if you're looking for a smartwatch, get those. If you're like me and you're still a fan of the old curved designs, you know, we're kind of SOL and we're kind of stuck with this. Let me see here. AT&T had a special for $50 with the S3 Frontier. You should have gotten that. If you didn't get it, shame on you. What are your thoughts on the Apple Watch 3 without cellular? My friend works at the Apple Store and told me he gave me hooked up one for $270, folks. What a deal! You can get money. $270 for an Apple Watch 3 without essentially the 3G or the 4G service. Value-wise, no. It's, if you have an iPhone, it's best to get it because, you know, it's one of the only smartwatches that work the best with your device. But damn, I honestly, it's not worth it at that price. Yeah, some of the other smartwatches are also $200 to $300, but they come with full 4G service, data with, you know, built-in memory, and a slew of other things that you can do. Plus, I think the S3 especially looks better than the Apple Watch does. Just my opinion. I feel like it's just the Apple Watch just doesn't impress me. It just really doesn't. But if you are stuck with them, like I would suggest you get it like an active version, or just go with an Apple Watch 2. There's really no need for you to get the 3 right now. If you don't care about the cellular function, you're just better off getting the 2, in my opinion. How do you feel? How do you feel the system fluency of your S7 Edge? Is it still very smooth as the first time? That's the first time you got it. So Ken Lin, it's a good question. So it's just like with all the other previous phones and current phones. Your device is going to be operating great in the beginning, and all of a sudden, you're going to see it start slowing down. Couple factors. The conspiracy theory is that they released updates to make the old phones, you know, unusable. Part of me wants to believe that, but the main issue is just like a computer. It gets used. Your memory, your RAM memory, all the system memory, that, you know, everything you do, by the way, is recorded by the phone. So a lot of you might think, why is my phone so sluggish? So for me, there's just one chat app that me and my wife use. It stores everything within that app. So let's say you send a picture. That picture, so you take a picture with your phone. That picture is saved within the phone's memory, and then you send it through that app. Well, guess where that app is storing that picture? Within its own folder in your drive. So that photo is in 2 places now. You do a video, same thing. By the way, that entire chat history that you always scroll down and look at, that's saved internally. Your games take up data. You know, the cloud services, everything that you do is being recorded on the device. And back earlier in the live stream when I talked about they're working on getting as much information on you as possible, that is it. literally everything from what you use, where you put it, so where you put the apps, where you touch your screen the most, how active is the camera in general, how long do you look at it. Every little thing is being recorded on this thing, and it's being stored and sent to the companies, and that memory gets huge. So my thing is, I keep up to date with my phone, so I don't turn anything off, but every month I go into the app data folder and I just wipe it clean. Yes, it does make some of my apps, you know, there's some save data, there's some autofill things that do make the phone easier to use, but at the end of the day, it's a clean slate. Think of it as like an oil change for your car. You can keep it going and you can just not do anything, but over time the car is going to start running sluggish and eventually breaks down and becomes unusable because it just can't boot up or do anything. It's the same thing with the phone. If you don't keep up to date with it, and this is why they're adding more and more data, because they're taking more and more data from you. The pictures we take, the videos we take are getting bigger and bigger. Everything's just getting more and more massive, and so that's what happens. So that was a quick PSA for me. You know, you can look up on Google on how to like wipe out your app data so your phone can run more efficiently. But the biggest thing is keep up to date with, you know, your pictures, put them onto your computer if you have an external hard drive, or if you're like us Android users, you just buy a big SD card and put it on there. You know, that's by the way, for those of you who don't know, that's my wife, and here you go. That is my wife, and that's my son. The photo doesn't do it justice. But that's just a quick PSA there. I'll take a few more questions, and I'm going to move on to, I forget what I was going to talk about afterwards, but let's take a look here. Let me see. Can you do a tour of the store, please? I've been waiting. Unfortunately, this is a webcam, so I can't actually walk around. But the thing is, you can just go on our Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and then Gamers Heaven. Also, if you're looking for, we're going to be putting updated photos on both our Facebook and then our new website, gamersheaven.life. It's not fully built right now, and the version you're seeing when you go onto it's not the fully hashed out one, but you can check it out if you like to. But I'll be updating everything on there pretty soon here. I just picked up I haven't talked about the Note 8, and I'm actually going to save to talk about the Note 8 another time, just because right now I only know everything on face value. I haven't really gotten to use the device yet to give my full, opinion on it. My biggest thing is I want to see how the VR is on that. I really like the VR on the S7. I want to see how much has been improved on. I'm a big VR guy, okay, so I really want to see where its capabilities are on that. Let's see here. The Android fragmentation. So I don't actually really know too much about it, but that's one downside of Android. If you get some of the unknown devices as well as the unknown carriers, essentially, there's a lot out there. And that is one positive thing about Apple is they're streamlined. They are literally just top down, devices. So they're going to be taken care of. And with Android, as long as you're with the major brands, you're going to be fine. It's even within those major brands, there's kind of like the off phones that you don't really care about. But the thing is, like a lot of those phones, you don't find yourself a cheap iPhone. You don't find a Go phone like a pay-as-you-go phone from Apple. You don't. A lot of people buy those phones that are from a lower income bracket because they're a lot more affordable and more easier to use, and it's a better entry point. But those phones, capability-wise, aren't up to par with a lot of the most current ones. And the thing is, like you pay $50 to $100 for these phones, and that's it. So are they going to pump a lot of dollars into the hardware on these phones? Not really. And anything too, in update wise too, they're going to want to encourage you to buy a new one every 6 months to a year because they're not making much money off of you if you're not buying their newest and greatest. So that's just kind of my opinion on it. And then last question I'll answer is, am I excited for the Android Oreo? I've been kind of indifferent about all the upgrades, you know, all the upgrades that Android has been doing. I mean, I love the naming, but I've stopped paying attention. You know, I got, you know, in terms of the tech world, I'm more the hardware person. And I've always been focusing more on the hardware side of things. And that's where I would like to stay. So I haven't really looked too much into it. So I can't really give an honest opinion on the Android Oreo. So there's my take on that. But one topic, the last topic I really want to talk about. So other than, I gave you guys an update on the channel and everything. And I didn't realize I've been talking for an hour already. So I only planned on making these videos for about an hour or so. So if you guys, so I'm going to kind of just wrap up with some final thoughts. If for those of you who joined me live, if you have any last questions, whether it's opinions, my opinion on things, or questions about what's been going on, or just even personal questions, you may go ahead and ask me right now. You have my attention, go ahead and ask. So I'll go ahead and answer those at the end here. But last couple things is just going to be, you guys need to start expecting some big changes in the tech world. If it's good, like I'm going to start focusing, you know, on the technology and the hardware side of things again, but I'm also going to start diving into certain topics that I think a lot of people aren't ready for. So things like artificial intelligence, robotics, the future of human interactions in terms of human workers, and what roles we will have to play in future companies and stuff. Like I'm gonna start talking about those things, like not every day, like kind of one-off topics here and there. But those are the kind of topics that really do hit home for me. That you should look, you know, that I will be talking about in the future, and hopefully you guys, you know, tune in for those and really, you know, we have a nice discussion on that. But I will, you know, unfortunately, like for those that subscribed for my tutorial videos on the Gear S and stuff that I did before, like those are pretty much going away, and we're going to be more focused on discussion topics. You know, I didn't make this channel to become a millionaire or anything like that, so I don't really care about how many views I get on my videos. My goal for my videos is for those people that do choose to watch, that do choose to sit through the videos, and also in this day and age to get past, you know, my race and everything. I don't care about all that stuff. You know, my focus is I want to talk about stuff that's going to propel people like you and me forward. And how are we going to stay relevant? You know, and, you know, especially, you know, with me, with my son, how am I going to make sure that I stay relevant in the workforce, and, you know, and also for my business, but also how do I prepare my son for the future? You know, I don't know exactly what the future is going to entail. It can go one way, it can go the other, but I had to do my best to make sure he's well prepared. I don't know what might happen. You know, things could happen to me that I can't control, and I don't know what the future is going to go like, especially in this country. For those of you who are in the United States, you guys know as much as I do. It's some crazy stuff going on right now, and you can't lie. You can't lie to yourself if you're not worried. And so, like, that's all grim. Like, I don't want to focus on that, but you know, there's some good things happening down the line that hopefully we can look forward to. Technology-wise, I'm looking at technology-wise, and so I'm like, as things come out and as these topics come up, I hope you guys are interested in it, because, you know, beyond these smartphones, you know, the stuff that you should really focus on. I commented earlier on this video about the data that they're gathering. For those of you who have time, I really suggest you watch the movie Ex Machina. I made a little vlog video about that 2 years ago, but it's a movie that really hit home for me in terms of where all this is going. You know, where all this is going. And I'll be talking things like singularity, and a bunch of other things too. So, but other than that, so looks like no one's asking anything, so I think it's good to wrap up here. For those of you who watched this part of the video in the post-recording, feel free to leave a comment down below in terms of like what you guys would like me to talk about. because I have topics in my mind that I want to talk about, but at the same time, I know a lot of you are still, you have questions. You have certain uncertainties on what device to get or certain opinions you'd like to hear. I know that most of the videos out there are streamlined in terms of how they review the videos and everything, but I'm more than happy to make videos for you guys. So this is time to take advantage of my generosity. I was kidding. I don't know, it's late, I'm getting loopy. So once again, guys, thank you for those who tuned in to the into the live stream, and for those of you who watched the post recording of it, and just really appreciate your guys' time. And here's to the future of LPX as well as Gamers Heaven. Checking us out. All right, guys, well, thanks for tuning in, and as always, please, whatever time of day it is in the part of the world that you're at, please have a good day, good morning, and good evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.